to another powerful edition of the Amazons and Afripreneur interview series from the stable of Adewale Multimedia Company, where we showcase and celebrate Amazons and Afripreneurs on the Africa continent. Our mission on this channel is to inspire you into greatness as we celebrate the winning Amazons and Afripreneurs in Africa. Today, I'm here with a man of wisdom, strategy, and excellence. And before we start the conversation today, I'd like us to know a little about Mr. Badejoko.
Adewale Badejoko is the marketing strategist and the lead consultant at Heenspire Group and founder of Frootify, a snack and beverage company that focuses on locally made and packaged products from farm produce to reduce post-harvest losses, instead provide nutrients, pure and organic value to healthy living in Nigeria. His current focus is on giving access and delivering good, affordable fruit plants to residents that will sustain, develop, and nourish their well-being, regardless of their social status. Adewale holds a bachelor's degree in human physiology from the University of Ilorin. He is also a Mandela Washington Fellow. Adewale plans to continue his work in optimizing and refining locally grown farm produce through various value addition processes to make them relevant for current and future nutritional needs of the environment. We reckon that he is a driven change maker in the entrepreneurial sector.
All right, we are glad to.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It feels so exciting reading, hearing myself or seeing myself be read. So beautiful. Thank you so much for the honor. I'm really, really glad to be here.
You are welcome. You're most welcome. So, Mr. Adewale Badejoko, welcome once again to Amazon and Afripreneur interview series. Here we celebrate our own so that we can inspire the future in the youth.
Yeah.
Let's start this way.
Okay.
Sometimes we go through people's bio, but we really don't know some things about them.
Sure.
Who is Mr. Adewale Badejoko at home and at work?
Okay. As much as I'd like to say it's a tough one to answer, I think it's an easy one because it's something you'd have given thought to over the course of your life journey. Personally, I think I'm a very funful person. If there's one word I think aptly defines me, it's understanding. And I think that has helped me across board, whether at home, in business, amongst friends, and every other commitment that life throws across my way. I'd like to give myself to more understanding, and I think that has helped me richly. I'm a family man, of course, blessed with a wife and 2 children. And yeah, my play partner, we play a lot. I have fun. I enjoy dancing. I mean, that's one part a lot of people don't know about me. I mean, if you know this one part, then I can truly say you know me. Someone once asked me if I wasn't doing business, what would I be doing? I said, probably making a living off dancing. I mean, especially after a very stressful day at work. And trust me, when you are in business, especially business in Nigeria, you understand the complexity of the environment. So you always need something to take your mind off the stress. So dancing is it for me. I'm a lover of God. I'm a minister of the gospel of Christ as well. So and generally, I'm just given to business intelligence. You know, I am looking for, again, going back to understanding the nuances, the many intricacies that are not visible to the natural eyes. And that gives me joy and palpitation. So I guess every other thing around me revolves around this that I said.
Okay, thank you so much. There's actually what you have mentioned. I have it on my list of questions.
Okay.
And from seeing your website, I know who you are. And
right.
When you mentioned it, I said, yes, that is it. So
Yeah.
going back to that, but let me ask a follow-up question about that. So
Okay.
how long have you been producing this healthy and snacks? Were you
Okay.
born into
Go ahead.
entrepreneurship
I've been in business all of my, what I used to say, or what I do like to say, is that I've been in business all of my adult life. Immediately, almost after my first degree, I got started in business. I did not seek a paid employment. I started up in entrepreneurship. Matter of fact, my first business was selling rats. And long story short, we are here. The dream to actually start making healthy snack or nutritious beverages actually started way back as far as 2015, 16. It's a culmination of my life journey basically. But the light bulb moment for me would be in the year 2016, and it was on a trip to Lagos. I was moving from a city called Ilorin, which is in the north central part of Nigeria, and I was going for a program in the city of Lagos, which is in the southwestern part. And it was on that journey that the light bulb moment really happened for me. But prior to that time, I'd had things around agriculture, as the case may be. And the truth is, if you're an African, if we trace back our ancestry, every African family, particularly every Nigerian family, have something to do with agriculture. And that's where you will hear names like Omoyalobi or Omoyalabo, every Omoyeleja. My maternal grandmother, for instance, was a pepper merchant into tomato sales and all of this kind of stuff. So while 2016 looked like the light bulb moment for me, my life journey to that point in time had been hit bits and pieces. I had opportunity to also work with an agricultural magazine, and in the course of that engagement, I traveled across the length and breadth of Nigeria, and I was exposed to some of the things around the agricultural value chain. As at that time, I didn't know where I was going to fit into it. It was just basically just traveling around, enjoying the stories, meeting people, and, taking up insights. But it was in 2016 on the journey to Lagos where we passed through a town in Nigeria called Ogbomosho. Ogbomosho is in Oyo State, and Badejoko Adewale says Ogbomosho should be the world capital for mangoes. It was mango season. It was in May. I can't forget. And while I was moving in transit and we got to Ogbomosho, Ogbomosho again has the best mango, and it was mango season. And there were a lot of mangoes to the point that they were becoming waste for large stretch, large kilometer, large expanse. You'd see a lot of mangoes from, it was painful. I was in the car, and in that moment, I just could not rest. It does not make sense. Here are we, a nation, when you mention Nigeria, particularly sub-Saharan Africa to the Western world, the first imagery that comes into their mind is hunger, malnutrition, and all the ills that a society can have. And sadly, this is the same society that has this abundance going to waste. So it didn't make sense to have as unto an elephant, but to be almost perceived or living as unto an insect. We're in the midst of an abundance here to the point where it's going to waste. And the same country, the same place is suffering from hunger, malnutrition, and all what's not. And I just could not, stomach it in my spirit. So while I was in transit to that place, I was just hungry, literally, like something has to be done. I was a much younger man at the time, now I'm much more packaged with my anger. But then it was just something that was really mind-boggling. I knew something had to be done. Who was going to do it, I didn't know. And I just thought, okay, well, maybe I can try and do something about it. There's a lot of production going on the farm end, and sadly, there's so much, very little on the consumption end. And you see, that's the problem with my assertion with Nigerian agriculture value chain. Many times when we think about agriculture, we think about the food system in Nigeria, we think we have tendencies to start from the back end. But being a business strategist, that's a wrong way to actually think. Every process starts and ends with the consumers, not the farm. And so it didn't. Go ahead, ma'am.
You are diving into a greater part that I really want people to enjoy. And I'm sorry, I will have to let us, go back to some things you mentioned, because I don't want you. I see you have a lot to give us today, and trust
it's something I'm passionate about, so yeah.
If it's 2 hours, I'm here. So
Okay,
we can
that's
actually
it.
take these in series.
Okay,
But
fine.
I don't want us to swim past some of the pertinent things you have mentioned.
Okay,
Now, let's take it one at a time because you have answered my
all
next
right.
question. My next question would have
Mhm.
been everybody, excuse me, everybody has a story behind their
Yeah,
business. And you
true,
have
true.
literally told us the story behind your
Yeah,
business. But you brought out some things that we can't afford not to talk about.
all right.
Many of our parents are
Mhm.
entrepreneurs.
True, true, true.
They sold their land, they sold
Yeah,
their trinkets to
yeah,
send us to school. And
yeah.
so when we're done from school, they don't want us to sell things like they do.
Right?
They want us to
It,
go get the white or
yeah,
green collar
yeah,
job out there.
yeah, right?
What can
Yeah.
you tell parents at this
Okay,
point? I think it's
okay.
essential we talk about that.
Thankfully, I'm a parent myself, blessed with a boy and a girl child. And this that you have mentioned is something that I've noticed as well too, and also doing a work to make sure that it doesn't happen, especially with my relationship with my children. Yes, our parents are fantastic, hardworking people, sold all the things that you've mentioned plus more to make sure that we get good education. Sadly, they made a very vital mistake that we are supposed to be integrated back into the same system where we came from. Now, yes, many of them did it out of poverty, out of love, from a place of this, the pain and the sufferings I went through as a parent. I don't want my children or the generations coming after me to go through those pain, which is nice, which is fantastic. But they miss something in the course of education. Education is supposed to help us bring from within, not force something on you. Yeah, it's supposed to be something that you have inside you, helping you to shaping it and to fit the local context that you have. You see, some of the problems that we have are common across the board, but while they are the same in content, they are different in context. So by going to school, the education that we get is supposed to help us work on the solution that we have. So we are not supposed to be ostracized, pardon my language, from that same system of living. We're supposed to be incorporated back into. So this is what I do with my own children. Yes, Frootify is something dear to my heart. The problem we're trying to solve, which is people living healthy, is very, very important. So what we do is once in a while, I take them to our stores and then I get them to the product. I mean, have a taste of it and, integrate them back into the system. So as they grow, they are also, they're not disenfranchised from whatever it is that we are creating as solution. So yes, we spend our hard-earned cash to train them, but they are also back to solve the problem that exists in our society. So that's where most of our parents missed it. They didn't build the children around the business. So in such a way that they now see what they did or what they did as trading as dirty, right? So it was part of the ill-conceived or the wrongly conceived notions about white-collar jobs. Thankfully, of course, unemployment is actually high in Nigeria, meaning that the availability of white-collar job is on the low. So eventually, we are now forced back to go back to see, okay, what are the problems that we have? And essentially, that's where job starts from. And
Hmm.
so that's one of the very important things they didn't do that we're trying to do, not to take us out of the system. Yes, you can study, have Western education, travel the length and breadth of the world, but again, still understanding the context of where you are from. And I think that's one of the things that we can do better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, we have a lot to talk about because I keep bringing out things from what you're saying. Now, I'm going to go back to your story of how
Okay.
it all started.
Okay.
You saw the best out of the
Yeah.
waste
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
mangoes in
Yeah.
Ogbomoso.
Yeah.
There is something that is not common in our generation, and that is sight.
Yeah.
There is so much distraction on the social
Mm-hmm.
media, the
True.
TV consumption.
Yeah.
How do we go back to that culture of
Okay.
consuming the right things so that we can
Yeah.
have sight. Because that's
Yeah.
actually the problem. Because what we consume is what we bring out. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we go back to that? Because I mean, a lot of people have traveled Ogbomoso Road.
Yeah.
I have traveled Ogbomoso Road several times. I saw the
True.
waste, but it's not my
Yeah.
way. It's not my
Yeah.
passion. But you
Yeah.
saw the waste. Some people
Yeah.
also have this idea, but they never
Yeah.
implemented it.
Yeah.
Now, and some of them even try to implement, but something
Mm-hmm.
just happened. They couldn't have a break even. So,
Yeah.
what do you want to say about
Okay.
sight
Okay.
and ability
Yeah.
to, bring this vision to reality? And that
True.
goes back to what you were saying the other time
Yeah.
before I cut in on
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah. Thank you very much. To start with, the whole issue of waste, I might be looking at it based on my own area of calling from the angle of food. But you see, the issue of waste is one that is common across the length and breadth of Africa and across Nigeria. And so somebody else could see this waste from a political perspective. Somebody else could see this waste from an engineering perspective, some from perhaps a legal perspective, and from the many other angles to human life that we have. But when it comes to sight, sight is actually not from the naked eye, but from the heart. Like I said, prior to that time, I had some internal rumblings, let me call them. That moment was just the light bulb moment for me. So it's about the heart. It's because, again, like the popular saying, out of mind is out of, it's essentially when it's not in your heart, it's difficult for you to see. I mean, what you guys are doing at Agbari Media is an amazing job trying to give platforms to Amazons and Afripreneur. It's in your heart, and then you realize, okay, this is something that we could do. So as regards to seeing problems vis-a-vis creating solutions to them, it's a thing of the heart. And I think where we can start from is, start by loving our immediate environment, loving Nigeria, and then you start seeing areas where we could improve upon instead of areas where we are not doing well. So it's a shift in mindset. So somebody else could, a lot of people travel Ogbomoso Road literally every day, and they might not be given to seeing it because it's not in their heart. There's a love for Nigeria that I personally have. There's a love for the people in Nigeria that I personally have. Eventually, I know I will not be able to touch over the 200 million people who live in Nigeria. But again, as somebody who has, who is true to his existence, I know that we are not living our best life. And if we are therefore going to live our best life, what will change? And it just occurred that I have a passion or a penchant for, identifying waste along value chains. And this is not just waste about fruit. Even as a business person, I'm sitting down. Today one of the exercises I still did was look at our business along the line and say, okay, where are the waste? Waste in resources, waste in people. I just discovered that it took us huge amount of money to actually dispose our waste. And I'm thinking to myself, this could actually be turned into biofuel, into something else. So I have that way of saying, let's see how we can actually reduce waste to a minimum level. But again, it is out of loving the people and loving processes to see that, having a love for efficiency, as the case may be. But when it comes to the situation in the country, in Africa, it's basically having a deep love that's seated in your heart. Let me also say that when I returned back to Nigeria from the United States of America, people were asking me, why are you here? You should stay back. What are you doing here? Two things. You are either crazy or crazy in love. I think I belong to the latter people. I'm crazy in love with my environment. I think there's a whole lot that can still be done. And I think, at least for whatever it is, I might not be able to finish the entire work, like I said. But again, I could set some ball in motion for the next generation. We spoke earlier of my children. This is the brand we are building is one that our children can work in, right? And so this is, I think, a way to actually continue the love going. But I think it starts from the heart, because out of the abundance of the heart, every other part. There's a popular saying that where your heart is, where your treasure is where your heart is. So I think that's something for me in terms of improving on our vision and then seeing what could be done and how we could optimize our processes as a whole. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're giving us a lot here. For every, I had opportunity to be in an outsourcing firm some
Yeah.
years ago, and people will come in, and I think I've said this before on this show, that people will come in for interview, young men and women, and they're going to say, one of the questions we ask them is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And they can't tell. Now, then I will ask them, what are you doing right now that makes you think you are a good fit for this job? And I discovered many of them, they have a car wash business, they have catering business. And then I will ask, so why do you need this job? Because this job is a marketing job and it's going to pay you according to what you were able to make. And I think the basic salary then was less than 50K. But plus the commission that you make from the customers that you bring to your cabal, which can take you a lot of energy. Now, so I'll ask, what happened to the business you're doing? And they will say, we don't have money. Is money the number one thing we need to bring our ideas to reality?
No, it's not. It's a very key ingredient in making everything come together. There are a whole lot of things that are needed. Money is one of it. But I would say, in fact, I used to tell people frankly that I'm glad some people didn't give me some amount of money some years ago. Those money would probably have destroyed me. There's a lot that we still have to understand in our growth process, even as humans and as business persons. Like I said, the idea for what we currently do started in 2016. It has grown significantly from what it used to be then to what it is now. We've repivoted, we've changed the scope and how we want it to be. Like I said, I was really hungry on that trip and I trusted myself into creating a solution. Again, making the same mistake that the solution this time should not come from the farm end. So I was trying to attack the problem from the farm end, forgetting that the table end dictates what happens on the farm end. Mangoes are wasting because people are not drinking as much mango. I mean, it's almost common sense. If we'll improve whatever is happening on the table end, eventually we will save the farm end. Every value chain and processes starts and end from the consumer, not from the production place. And so these are some of the important understanding that business owners need to have before reaching out for fundings, before getting money. Because you see, it's supposed to be a seed funding or a pre-seed funding, as case may be, and this money is supposed to help you, grow in your business. By the way, there are levels of funding that you need, and so at that point in time, you just need to show the validity of that idea or of the problem / solution you're trying to create. So dashing out and investing money into the business might not be what it is. And the truth is, people invest. See, it's in people. People invest in people. People put money in people, not in ideas. Because good people will make even a shitty idea into something great. While you give a great idea to a mediocre person, you'll make a mess of the idea. So it's also understanding your trajectory as a business person, working on the idea. See, we have to understand that not every problem should be solved or solved immediately. There's something we call active problems. Those are problems that people are already trying to provide solutions to. So when you come from the angle of a better solution in business, it is easier to get acceptability, market acceptability, and then you're able to show traction, get more resources, and improve on it. Now, you've not validated the idea, you've not validated the market, and then you're asking for people to put money into it. If for whatever reasons, perhaps you have family members who are well-to-do, and then they put money into it, and the business did not thrive or does not do very well, what you have done is you have damaged future opportunities. Because even if they give you money the first time and you make a mockery of it, it will be difficult for you to go to them to actually ask for funding. And you see, that's why it's very difficult for many business owners to approach banks for finance, because they know that the banks will collect their money whether you like it or not. And so money is important again, but it starts with the simple things. one, your person, because the person leads the business. The moment it is vice versa, then there's going to be a problem. It's as onto a child, and to the point where the child is fully formed and developed to handle life by itself, you are still in charge of the welfare of that child. So applies to a business. So the person who will be leading the business himself needs to also understand, am I enough to do this? Am I strong? Do I have the competence to do this? Do I have the wherewithal to do this as well too? And then the business as an idea. What phase of the problem are we right now? Is it something that we're going to trust ourselves into right now, or we'll keep working on and then leverage on time? Maybe the next 2 years we'll launch it out, or we'll keep still doing research around it. So it's a lot of things. I think once these things are finally and clearly cut out, trapping funding becomes easy, because it boils down to you pitching the idea, again, the idea and the pitcher, and these things go hand in hand. So I think when the entrepreneur has successfully done that, funding, of course, which is very key and vital. But I think starting the idea from a small perspective, you could leverage on money from family, friends, even your personal savings, just to show traction or create what we call a minimum viable product, not where you want to be, not the perfect place. When we started this business, what we were making in product and what we currently do in product is way off. Our product menu currently goes about, please forgive me if I'm not able to quote the appropriate figures because I'm not the one in charge of product. But again, our product right now is going to be about 2025 in terms of healthy snacks that we kept on creating, that we are creating at the moment. But when I started the business, it was just one product I could think about. Right, so all of these things are part of what happens. So we're able to show the idea that is something that can work, that is something that is as onto a solution that is solving a problem, and the business therefore grows, and then you get funding along that dimension as the business increases as well too. So money is important. I would not consider it the first thing. Working on the idea and then working on yourself, who's going to lead the business. When you have a match, I think funding becomes easy from there onward.
Thank you so much. That's very deep, and that's a 10,000 naira seminar that you just gave.
I told you, right?
Now, let's talk about my next question.
Okay.
You happens to be one of the past recipients of Mandela Washington Fellowship.
True.
The 2022 application is out. It's launched on the 18th of August, and it's going to close by September 15. In case some people have their business going and they were looking for funding, or they have an idea and they're looking for funding, and they've been able to strategize, but the next thing for them is to move forward. Now, I understand that applications comes from all around the world. What makes your application stand out? And if people who are listening or watching right now want to apply, what will make their application stand out?
Okay. What I'm about to say first, I'd like to say last. But here's the truth of the matter. A successful application, as far as the Mandela Washington Fellowship is concerned, which I'm a beneficiary of, it starts from truth. Beyond all the benefits that being a member of the fellowship or being a fellow offers, what is key to the program is identifying young leaders on the Africa continent. So you need to be truthful to yourself as a young leader. How well have I truly stand in truth as a leader? Because that would make your application go, a lot. It's easy. 1 year I was part of those who were examining, applicants in the business and entrepreneurship sphere for the program, especially from Tanzania. And I could see falsehood in some of the applications that were sent in. Some of the people were not true. Figures were being quoted. See, it's not about touching 200 million people. It's about doing the little that you're doing in truth. Right? The same business that brought me on the Mandela Washington Fellowship so many years ago, I'm still in it. Right? It's true to the cause to which I say I am trying to solve. I mean, so it's very important that whoever is applying for the MWF program should be truthful in the applications. The people, and I stand to say that if not for the truth of the program, perhaps I would not be a beneficiary, because I didn't have any big Nigerian figure to recommend me for the program. I didn't have any, very rich uncle someplace. And that's the beauty of the program. It is so transparent that nobody can get a slot on the program. Meanwhile, the son of the Nigerian president will be denied a slot in the program. So this is not about who you know. The MWF, for one, as a program, is one of the programs that is highly transparent. So you need to be truthful to your cause. You need to be truthful to where you are as a leader. The program understands that they are not looking for perfect ready-made leader. That's why the program is available. They are looking for people with good cause, who have potentials of what the future, what it can be like. Like I said, I was a beneficiary of the program so many years ago. Excuse me. I'm still onto the same course. I mean, because one of the questions that was asked during my application is 5 years from now. And those who are going to be applying for the program should also remember that after the program, you are going to be returning back home to continue creating solutions. So again, truth is very important in the application. Stay true to the cause that you're trying to solve. Stay true to your person as a leader. Don't try to cook up information that are not you. Like I said, I enjoy dancing. That might not look, like your ideal business person, but it is who I am as a leader. That's how I'm able to distress. That's how I'm able to get my team together. And those are some of the things that they are looking for in the program. How well you are able to carry people along. Because as a leader, automatically you're going to have people to follow up on the vision, even if you don't have them now. So your leadership competencies, what do you do? How do you do them? Those are the very important things that whoever is going to be applying should be thinking about and truthfully answering them. The last part, which was the first I wanted to start with, is the place of grace and God. You have a lot of people applying for the program all over the sub-Saharan continent. That's huge. In fact, Harvard Business School does not even get as much, it's not even as tougher as getting into the program. So you should understand that you are not picked does not mean your ideas are not good or valid. I should also say, it was on my third attempt before I got selected for the program. So it did not mean that I applied once. Well, maybe some people did apply overnight and they got picked. That's their story. But we have many people who have been applying from inception to this point in time have not been picked. And I applied after my third attempt and I got selected. But again, it is staying true to my cause, with or without that platform. It is staying true to myself, with or with as a young leader and growing over the course of time, and just letting God, have his way. Yes, maybe I felt pain the years I was not picked, but again, I stayed true to the course, went back on some of the things I could do better. The business that I was working on grew, and then I was able to present something better. And when they thought, okay, this young man should be on the platform, I was brought in. So even if you are not selected now, it does not mean your idea is not good or that you're not good enough as a person. We all keep growing. I've had a lot of no's in my life. It don't even make any difference to me now. It's just room for me to keep improving and improving and improving. So I say truth, show your leadership competence, stay true to your cause, and then let God have his way, and you're fine.
Thank you so much. Let's go on
Thank
the
you
shop
very much.
and
Okay.
we'll be right back.
All right, then. Thank you.
Bonanle, I'm not fine at all. Why? It's like I'm dying slowly.
Madam, from the result I have here, we only diagnosed influenza. What were you trying to do?
I was going to ask Google.
What gave you the impetus, the audacity to do this? A receptionist in my hospital? Now your brother is here? On an emergency?
This is COVID period, and which is why I'm wearing my face mask, because I don't even know if I have COVID. I think we should just get COVID test done. But when my result came back, it showed that my white blood cell was on low normal.
First of all of us, it's medical jargons, okay?
And I almost committed suicide.
While I'm alive, that's not happening.
All right, welcome welcome back. That short film is still showing on Agbari Multimedia channel. I want you to go and watch it, everyone. Please watch, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I've been speaking with Mr. Adewale Badejoko. I want to say a big thank you for coming to the show. You've been a blessing to us. Let's talk about, you recently launched the basket at Frootify. Oh my God. Tell us about that. Tell
us. So that's our latest milestone achievement. I mean, 2 days ago, yesterday, I opened my laptop and then I went through our milestone chart for year 2021. And then when I saw the launch of the basket, there was so much joy in my heart. There's a lot of fulfillment that I have, especially for somebody who is mission driven like I am. You know, having that come in as a testimonial is a lot. So the idea for the basket is this. So when we started, like I said earlier, sometimes it's not all about, we had an idea, we started growing the idea in an incubation center. It was a small space where we were using, trying to, check on the idea properly, right? It's not invest a lot of money into it and then you have some failures along the way. So we wanted to minimize cost, nonetheless have enough space to work on the idea. So we're using an incubation center and it was working perfectly, only to the point where it stopped serving us. I mean, the brand was growing faster than the incubation center can have. You know, our people were growing in numbers. We have more work to do. It's almost saying Frootify should just take up the whole incubation center. I mean, that would, of course, be a good thing, but be a disturbance to the many of that person. And so it has always been our dream to have an office place of our own, and we call it the basket. Of course, where do you keep fruits? You keep them in the basket. And so we had to name it the basket. And it's a huge project that actually, thus far to this point, is the biggest project I've ever embarked on in terms of the financial implications, in terms of how big it is in terms of magnitude as well. So yes, I think all the kudos heartily. It's a place where fruits, that's what we call our staff, our team members, where they can work from. We have the store ends where our customers come in and then get their products. But again, we have people who are working across different parts of the organization. We have people in digital marketing. We have people in admin, employee fulfillment. We have people who are working product research team. We have our business management development team. We have our account team. You know, so we have our production team, and the whole house was looking fragmented. So we need to bring everything together as a place. And we just thought, hey guys, this is the time to make the leap. Let's come into our own office, into our own place. It's a beautiful place. Before now, the incubation center didn't give us enough room to be able to truly bring some of our ideas to life. Frootify is a very happy brand. It's a very playful brand. It's a very funful brand, because we understand that what we are doing is a serious business. Many people have tried to do it in a different way and it didn't work as much. We're trying to bring a new dimension to healthy living. And so the basket gives us ample space to be able to create the place for ourselves just the way we truly want it. We have our creative room, we have our therapy room. You know, every staff gets once in a week on Tuesday, we call it Therapy Tuesday. We have our head of employee fulfillment, so you can just schedule a time, just 1 hour, and then just speak about non-work related matters that could affect your work. You know, we have our wall of fame. I'm given to celebrating people. I love to celebrate the people who are collaborating with me, and so unfortunately, the incubation center didn't give us that enough space. Now we have a wall of fame to ourselves. And now I have an office space to myself. So, you know, I mean, it's about, sincerely, you know, people see the brand and then they see how fast it is growing and then they have expectations. See, it's not about what people are saying, it's about the brand. itself. So for a very long while, I was cramped up in a small space. But again, we were working on the idea. And when the door or the opportunity for a bigger space opened up, yeah, we took it. And so, yeah, we're happy at the basket. It's a fantastic facility. Now we're able to sync a lot of our business processes together in one place. And yeah, everybody's been celebrating it. Our staff are better in terms of even their, and I'm very finicky with people's welfare, because I know that eventually your success, consequently, maybe your failure too, is going to be people dependent. So I want my people, the people who are serving with me, who are laboring with me, well taken care of. So the facility is designed ergonomically to be friendly to them. The space. In fact, we took a survey, and when we came into the basket, we did like a change management type of stuff amongst our people to say, okay, what are the things that you are wanting to see? How would you like the space to be? Create your own space, and it's been an amazing ride thus far. I'm just trusting for more bigger things right now. But yes, that's where we are right now. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you, and that's the least you will ever be, because you're
Amen. Amen.
Fingers crossed. We're watching, and we'll see everything come true. So, I love asking this question, but you have answered, like in passing.
Okay.
You talk about you've received many no's, and that could we could term that as part of failure, disappointment.
Yes.
I love asking, what is success to you? What is failure to you? What was the greatest challenge you ever met, and how did you overcome?
Well, I don't know if there's ever a greatest challenge, because I think the next challenge I face is usually bigger than the last one I face. And so every challenge, I treat them the same way. Again, don't forget, I said earlier that I'm a man of understanding. And I think that understanding has helped me thus far. And so I've encountered a lot of failures. And the first thing, in fact, a funny fact, we applied for a program, and then the response came back and said, we're sorry, we could not help you at this moment in time. And that was all that the mail said. And I said, I responded back. I said, thank you for your fast response. Please, can you point me in the direction of somebody who can help me? Because the mail said they can't help me now. Please, perhaps you know somebody who can help me. And so that's the disposition I have towards failures. What are the things that I can do better, that I can learn from it? I don't take them to heart as much as I don't take my successes to heart. I'm a very focused person. So good days, thank you, Lord. Bad days, thank you, Lord. And so I've just learned to live a life of gratitude regardless of whatever comes across my way. And so that has helped me to be able to deal with failures. Truth is, some days I cry. I mean, they're not this easy, like I say. And some days I just drive into my car and then just go home and then just sleep, right? But again, a life of gratitude, understanding that I'm a man on a mission, and so I do not take one pain or one failure in my life journey as the definition of it. So the following day, I rise up back again and I say to my team, guys, let's go and do it again. See, you will get a lot of no's in life. It's just part of the process. And what I've learned is that the more no's you get, the more yes you will get. Although as I grow older, I've become strategic in the way I put myself out for opportunities. Nobody likes being heartbroken every time. So what are the lessons from the past? And how can we do it? There are opportunities that I've been studying for the past 3 years. I've not even made a move to apply, because I know that if I apply for them, perhaps the answer I will get is no, because I've not been able to sufficiently meet the requirements for those opportunities. So I am loading myself up, improving on myself and my business to be able to be fitting for those opportunities as well too. I mean, we are all humans at the end of the day. So I'm trying to understand what's the motivation behind those who are giving me opportunities as well too. Do I fit into that motivation? It makes me less heartbroken this time, because I almost go for opportunities that my chances of getting acceptance are higher. But again, it's a win or a lose thing. So whether I win, I'm grateful. Whether I lose, I'm grateful. I take the lesson and I'm moving forward. One of the things that have helped me being a business person myself is having sort of like a partner. You have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan, and all of those things, and you still give rooms for contingencies. So if this does not work, for instance, I'm trying to raise 10 million naira. How many ways can I come? There's a popular Yoruba saying that says "Onokon Waja," meaning that one market does not lead to one way does not lead to the market. What that saying shows is the fixity of the purpose, nonetheless the flexibility of how you can go about it. So this is what I want to achieve as a milestone. How many ways can I come about it? So you sit on the table and look at the possibilities of how that would happen. And one of the things I've done in planning is that I let my plan be dependent on myself, not on the other persons, because I don't have control on what they can do. But to a reasonable extent, I have a control of my own time, of my person, of my resources. So I work things around as help as much as possible to make sure that other person's plan or my plan is my plan, not their plans that now affect my own plan or that is dependent on their own plan to succeed. So these are some of the things I've been using to be able to mitigate our chances of no's. But do we get no's? Yes. We get them fairly a lot, and it doesn't make any difference to us now whether it's a no or yes, because we are grateful for every opportunity that we take, that we have, or that we don't have. Because eventually, you're not going to be able to have all the opportunities in the whole world. So for the ones that we don't have, we thank God for them. We take the lessons, we work on it, we improve. For the ones that we have, we thank God again for them. We move on to the next. So that's how I've been able to deal with challenge. I'm true to my emotions. I ask myself, again, like I said, we have a department called employee fulfillment. I'm also an employee in the business. And so sometimes I have therapy session as well too. I just want to rant. So the employee fulfillment officer just sit down there and listen to me. Sometimes I'm just ranting, being true to my emotion. And in the course of what might look like a rant, I'm actually talking out the solutions. And then I leave that session, I go on to implement. Or sometimes I just basically just close my door, go to my room and cry. For instance, we were on a project and it looked like the funds we have was not going to be enough. And I just shut down and I just cried. After I finished crying, okay, how can we raise the fund? And glory to God, we were able to actually secure a fund that came in timely, came in with less stress for us, and we completed that project. So yes, I think it's a saying from Winston Churchill that says, failure is not fatal. It is, the will to keep going on that matters. So it's not whether you're successful. Going back to your question of what defines success for me, again, it's just being happy. That's just what is success. I am a man of content. I know that there's a lot for me to do, but again, I'm content with where I am while I am also working towards where I want to be as well too. So yes, that's how I've been able to actually, that's what defines success for me. Success for me, in fact, many years ago, maybe as a young lad, maybe my name was on Forbes list, maybe I would have been happy. But now it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's my happiness is not about how much I have in my bank account or not. I am true to this cause of healthy living, and that the world can be a better place, at least the one that I can contribute using my business, using my person. And I go back home to my children and wife. It's a happy day. It's a successful day for me. And so, yes, I don't define success with money or the number of places where my face is festooned. Eventually, I like those publicity as long as it helps us to be able to do more, especially one like this from Agbari Media. But again, success is every day right now. The things that I want to set out to do today, did I do them very well? Because every day adds up to, to the bigger picture where I'm going. So, yes, that's how I define success.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I realize it's becoming dark in Nigeria, but I appreciate the fact that your audio is so clear, and that gives me lots of joy. I want to say a big thank you for coming. I just want you to tell people, how can they find you? How can they find your company? What do you offer? Tell the people.
You can find us everywhere. You can find us online, but you might not be able to exactly interact as much with the solution we are trying to create. But we have stores in the city of Ilorin, which we are hoping soon to expand to other parts of Nigeria. as well too. But again, personally, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is Adewale Badejoko. It's the same across all platforms. When you type that to Google, you could, you can, find me there. We can connect or via that place. So I'm there as well too. Of course, I'm at the baskets. You can come in to reach out to us right now. Yeah. But we are currently located in Nigeria, and we're hoping to actually reaching out to every other part of Sub-Saharan Africa as well. So yeah. But I think the internet is a very good place to actually start the conversation going.
Okay. So in case I always allow my guests to say one thing that maybe there's a question I didn't ask, maybe they have something to say, I always allow them to. So I'm going to go on this short break. When we come back, you're going to tell us the one last thing that you love a young man out there, a young Afripreneur out there to know.
We are not here for food. Gaskiya.
The family has concluded that you pocket this building with your children.
It's still this inheritance issue. My in-laws are bent on taking everything from me because my children are girls.
If you ask me, I would advise you better listen to them and do what they say.
Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
I will deal with them.
Talk the heart or hit on the family's directive, or else.
Or else what?
Have you ever thought of me writing my will?
Will? How? Where? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? He did not write a will because he didn't know he was going to die.
Writing my will doesn't mean that I want to die.
So welcome back. Oh, thank you so much for changing to the light source.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I just want to say a big thank you for coming to us today. Let me quickly say this. When people come around, I always allow them to say one thing that probably they forgot to say or that I did not ask. So I always allow them to say it. Meanwhile, when I saw your website, I realized that, a lot of the pictures were full of fun and all that. So is that how you do? Is the personality attached to that? And, just tell somebody out there the last thing that you will love them to know.
Okay. So first off, like I said earlier, what we're trying to do is a very big problem that we're trying to solve. It's a very serious one. Unfortunately, the mannerism in which other persons have approached it have not caused the solution to work effectively. Healthy living is supposed to be, in fact, it's a must for everybody, young and old. It's something that cuts across every sector, regardless of your status as a person. But when it is done in a certain manner, it has caused the consumers to reject them or not to be able to embrace them holistically. So what we are doing with making it fun is making people understand that you can actually live healthily. We're breaking down the solution into very simple ways which everybody can interact with it. And so, yes, that's the part as well too. Truth is, I can be very serious when we have to be very serious, especially when it concerns human lives and destinies. I mean, we create products people consume, so we need to be quality conscious at every point in time, including how we manage not just people but also funds as well. So, but we just realized that at the end of the day, everybody wants to be happy. And so we realized that we could find a balance between having a functional company, a functional organization, and truly having fun as well too. And I mean, you're functional, you're having fun. So that's like a jackpot for me. Yeah. So for anybody listening to me or who will perhaps sometimes in future watch this, there's a lot to say, I must confess. But again, what I'll say is please seek understanding, get understanding regardless of whatever you do. Yes, you're passionate about the problems and the solution and all what's not. but understanding can save you all the stress. So get understanding of your craft, of your profession, and why. Understand what is your why. I grew up understanding my why even as a young person, and that has helped me in the days of adversities, in the days of tribulation, which is literally really every day for a business person. Yeah, especially when you're a business person in Nigeria, where the statistics of failure are against you. So please get understanding, get competence. Get competence is very important. Zeal without knowledge, there's only one end. It's a disastrous one. So as much as you're zealous in creating solution, in helping people, in transforming, creating change, please get understanding, get knowledge, get competence, so that you're able to, on a personal level, and even for the cause that you're fighting for, truly able to, achieve great peak. Because see, there will always be problem in the world. There will always be challenges in the world. We'll do our bit, and we hand over to the ones who are coming after us. So yes, that's for me the most important thing that I can say right now to anybody. Please get understanding, right? Some problems you probably don't solve them immediately, right? Some problems you still need to grow around. And I'll say to a young person, please travel as much as you can right now. Improve again, still going back to competence and getting understanding. Expand your mind towards the dimension of the solution you're creating or the problem that you want to solve. So again, please get understanding, and that saves everybody the stress, the problem, yourself, and the world.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you on behalf of the management of Agbari Multimedia. We want to say thank you for coming to be a blessing to an Afripreneur out there. We appreciate those dynamic and inspiring counsels you have given on the show. And I hope that when we call you again, you are going to answer us, because we want to listen to more of your success story in another 1 year, in another 2 years. So I want to say thank you. And to the Agbari Multimedia family out there, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, ask questions, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Till I come your way again, my name is Tosin Okweolua. So be inspired by this interview and get ready to be the next Amazon and celebrated on this channel. Thank you so much, Mr. Badejoko. Regards to
very much.
We want to say thank you. Bye, everyone.
We are not here for food. Gaskiya.
The family has concluded that you forget this building with your children.
It's still this inheritance issue. My in-laws are bent on taking everything from me because my children are girls.
If you ask me, I would advise you better listen to them and do what they say.
Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
I will deal with them.
Dr. Hato hit on the family's directive, or else.
Or else what?
Have you ever thought of me writing my will?
Will? How? Where? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? He did not write a will because he didn't know he was going to die.
Writing my will doesn't mean that I want to die.